morning. It's really great to see such a turnout. Who says Liberals can't get up early in the morning? Yay! We certainly can. We're here today to show some support for what we hope is going to be a very, very encouraging announcement, and to also generate a great deal of momentum, because there are a few words I want you to resonate in your mind coming from this morning's breakfast. Go back a number of years, 2008, and an unknown senator was seeking a presidential nomination. And his whole campaign was based on 3 words: yes, we can. And I want you to remember that over the next little period of time. Yes, we can. The challenge ahead of us is big, but yes, we can. Now, the person that we want to lead us in that challenge is really the person that's invited us all out here for this little breakfast gathering this morning. So I'm not going to steal any thunder from her. I'm just going to invite Bernadette Clement to come up and tell us what she has to say.
Quoting President Obama, eh? Good start. Bonjour. Bonjour, merci. Good morning. I just have to tell you, I'm really moved by this. You know, you send out an invitation, and it's easy to do it when it's for other people, but it's not so easy when it's for you. So I am just tremendously moved by all of you people being in the room with me this morning. So thank you for that. Merci. My parents, and many of you have met my parents. My parents are usually here when I make announcements and take steps in my goals and in my career. And it was just way too early for them to be here. But they're here in spirit. They always are here in spirit with me. And they're very glad that I'm here among you, my SDG family. They know many of you, and they love you because you've taken care of me and supported me over the years. So thank you. Je remercie toujours mes parents. Et je sais qu'ils se sentent bien que je suis parmi vous, avec ma famille de SDG. Merci. I want to take you back to 2006 for a moment. You know, I was happy doing my work at the legal clinic, and I still am, 24 years and counting, and working with various organizations. And I was happy to make this my home, my community. But I felt in 2006 that I wanted to do more. And I felt a spark of inspiration. I like that word, inspiration. I think that we need that. It's important to feel inspiration. And I began to feel that inspiration when I worked as part of a campaign team to elect Huguette Burroughs, former city councillor for the city of Cornwall, in 2003. And she passed away when she was in office. And when she did, there were no longer any women on council. And so, in 2006, I felt ready to run for city council, and I felt right to do that. J'aime toujours prononcer le nom d'Huguette Burroughs dans mes discours, je le fais souvent, parce qu'elle me rappelle toujours l'importance de travailler fort pour sa communauté, pour ce qu'on veut, et d'être fier aussi d'être francophone. It was an honor and a joy to be elected in 2006, and again in 2010. There was a steep learning curve. There was a lot of hard work. There still is. There always is. But I learned a lot about the strength of the people here. You know, this is a special place, and we've had our challenges, but it's the strength of the people in this community, that the many ways that they come together to face adversity and to be together and to move forward together. And I've always been impressed by that, and that too has inspired me in the work that I do around the council table. You know, this area has the right foundation for success. You know, we have a long history. We have the Loyalists, and we have the Francophone community that joined them when they came to work in the cotton mills. We have our neighbors in Akwesasne. It's a place that is perfectly representative of Canada. We have people working in cities and towns, working on farms, So all of those different aspects of Canada come together here. And over the past decades, we've had different populations come and join and create even more diversity in this area. So it's a tremendous strength. It's a tremendous area for success and potential. Again, very inspiring place. Always inspired by that history and the strength of this community. I've always been a Liberal. I grew up in Pierre Trudeau's riding. And so while he was our country's Prime Minister, he was also my MP. And my parents were strong Liberals, and we talked politics at home all the time. And I was really honored to be the federal Liberal candidate in 2011. It was a challenging experience. Many of you in this room remember it well, that election. I'm looking at Linda. And I will be forever grateful for all of the people who, hi Hans, who walked and knocked on doors with me, Graham, and worked hard. And it was disappointing to see the result, but it was also a really important experience for me. I learned a lot and met so many people, so many respectful people along the way, from all walks of life, from all the different parties. It was hard to lose. It always is. Has anybody ever lost in this room? Does anybody know that? No. Yeah. You know, it's no fun. It's no fun. But after taking stock, and it took me a while to take stock after that election, after taking stock, I realized that I hadn't really lost that election. You know, you learn more from your challenges and from your losses than from winning. Oh, it's great to win. It is for sure. But when you lose, you sit back and you take a look at who you are. You learn about your strengths and your weaknesses. You learn about what you need to do things better. So there was a focus on that for me, but also the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party took a while there to regroup, and they did. And I remember, and some of you in the room were there, one of the first convention that was held after that 2011 defeat was in Ottawa at the Ottawa Congress Centre. And a lot of people showed up, and there were all kinds of different people there, different backgrounds, different demographics, and the Liberal Party felt alive and well, and was focused on working towards the future, on figuring out how to reconnect with people. You know, there's a poll coming out today about how Canada is suffering a little bit from disengagement. You know, people are not connecting to their politicians. They're not connecting to their leaders. And so we have to talk about that. And we have to do something about that. And we can. We can. We have what we need here to bring people back to the importance of public service and the importance of public service in our lives and the impact that that has. And then it was 2013, and there was a leadership race. And I was pleased to be able to participate by moderating those debates. So I did the debate in Toronto, and then the one in Halifax, and then the one in Montreal. And it was a privilege to watch candidates of such high caliber seeking a leadership role in this Liberal Party that was feeling healthier and still alive and still growing. And as the moderator, I had the best seat in the House, really, because I could observe Justin Trudeau growing into his role as leader of the party and reacting and growing with each debate, being able to deal with the challenges and the questions that were coming up. Justin Trudeau is a natural, a quick study, a real person, a genuinely approachable person. I like him. And it's been easy for me to reconnect and recommit to the Liberal Party. He just brings a lot of enthusiasm and energy to the party and to his role as leader. C'était une belle participation pour moi, cette expérience au débat. J'ai pu observer notre chef, Justin Trudeau, se sentir de plus en plus à l'aise dans son rôle de chef, d'accepter les responsabilités qu'on lui donnait dans ce rôle et d'accepter les défis qui viennent avec ce rôle. Alors, je suis fière de lui, je l'aime beaucoup, et ça a été facile pour moi d'être en contact et de me sentir proche du Parti libéral. Now, I want to speak now about City Council, and I want to thank some colleagues for being here. Councillor Mark MacDonald is here, Councillor Justin Towndale is here, Councillor Claude McIntosh is here. It's very special for me to have you in the room. You know about this work and this commitment that we make when we're elected to City Council. And I ran for a third term, this last term in the fall of 2014. You know, the first 2 times that I ran, I felt lucky. It sort of felt like I was lucky to win, and there's luck. But when you're running for a third term, there's more pressure. It feels like your record and the work that you've done matters, counts, that people are reviewing it. And so to win a third term was particularly special for me. I took my time in making this decision that I'm going to announce. You know, I thought about my City Council responsibilities, about my work at the legal clinic, about my experience since the 2011 election. And at the end of the day, running in an election and seeking public office, elected office, is about public service. It's what I do around the council table, and it's what I feel I can do at the federal level as well. It's about working for the people of this community and using my skills to do that. And I can't sit this one out. I just can't sit this election out. I can't stand idly by while our country becomes more divided and more cynical and shut out of our government in Ottawa. Je ressens vraiment le besoin de participer à cette élection. Nous avons besoin d'espoir et d'inspiration. Et je crois que le Parti libéral et son chef, Justin Trudeau, sont la réponse à ce besoin. Our young people need to be inspired. All of us need to be inspired. We used to be, and we need to be again. Canada's a really special place. People have turned to this country with hope. They've come here because of that hope, with that hope, and they brought all of their hard work to this country, and that's what we need to call upon today. The world is going to turn, I'm sure, more and more to Canada as a special place of hope. And we need to regain our standing of respect in the international community. We've lost some of that respect under a government that resorts to divisive politics whenever possible. I believe that Canadians want leaders that will govern with openness and hope. You know, they want a federal government that communicates with people, that actually meets with provincial premiers on a regular basis, with municipal leaders, to work together in supporting Canadians in their goals of living in a healthy, innovative, welcoming, respectful nation that stands tall in the world. And we, in Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry, need a voice in Ottawa that believes in and speaks about the hopes and dreams of our community. The plans that we have for our towns and our cities and our waterfront and our farms, all of those dreams that we have, we need to talk about them. We need to make sure that our government in Ottawa knows them, reflects them, and supports them. And so, that's why I am announcing today that I will be seeking the Liberal nomination to be the candidate for the riding of Stormont. Really thank you. Merci pour ça. And I look forward to receiving the official green light from the Liberal Party as a nomination candidate. And I'm going to tell you about the nomination race. There are two other candidates, and this is a good thing. There's interest in the Liberal Party in this riding. I've met and spoken to both those candidates, Patricia Pichette and Corey Kelsey, and they are good, honest people. And I am certain, quite certain, that this is going to be a very respectful process, that we're going to do honor to Liberal members and to the residents of Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry. So I encourage people in the riding to become involved in the nomination process, to become members of the Liberal Party, to participate in the nomination meeting, in the discussions and meet and greets, and to go out and vote on nomination day. So that date is going to be set, and I encourage you all to be present. We have people, I think, that can sign you up here.
Yes, we do.
We do. So we can take that. Dennis Sabourin is my nomination campaign manager. Woohoo! Yes. I feel very good about that. I feel very good about that. This is a person with such a long history with the Liberal Party, local and in Ottawa, and knows everything and everyone about the process, and it is a really a good friend. Thank you very much, Dennis, for supporting me in this. It has been a long winter of Harper conservative rule, but the springtime of hope is in the air, and with that hope, let's work together for the Canada that we love. Alors, merci d'être ici. On va travailler ensemble, on va participer, on va créer un renouveau pour le Parti libéral localement. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. Thank you. Mr. Jim Brownell, former Liberal, long-standing Liberal MPP for this area. You have taught me a lot about public service. And more importantly, about mentoring and the importance of that. That's been your main focus, is to mentor the next generations of people who will value public service. And I thank you for that, and I thank you for being here this morning. Merci. Oh, can I show you one thing? This is a picture that my friend Megan did. Isn't this gorgeous? I love it. Megan, thank you for this. I'm a lot slimmer in the picture, Megan. I don't know how you managed that, but thank you. Yeah. All right, merci. Thanks everybody for being here.
We're going to just try to keep you here for a few more minutes. We said we'd try to get you out by 8:30, but I'm sure you feel good about this start of the Liberal spring. You know, every season has its momentum and its movement, so we were here witnessing the start of the Liberal spring. Now, Bernadette made mention of Jim Brownell, and really, we can't pass up an opportunity but to invite Jim to come forward if you'd like to, and maybe offer a few words of encouragement. Jim?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Thank you, Dennis, and thank you, Bernadette. What a morning. What a grand occasion to launch a campaign, and what a grand occasion to have Liberals in this room. You know, I looked around as I came in, and I saw Liberals in this room from all walks of life, from all age groups, right? And we had a discussion about some that have been around for a long, long time, and that's good. And we invite all who have been Liberals in the past and Liberals in the future. I just want to say, you know, Bernadette has that quality of motivating people. And I just got back from being out of the country for about a month and a half yesterday afternoon. And it didn't take long for my daughter to arrive over at my house. And she asked me, what's Bernadette Clement doing? Now, my daughter hardly got involved when I was running, but something clicked there, Bernadette. And I'm hoping that, well, she being a young person, in my book. So I'm hoping that kind of thing clicks in the minds and thoughts and hearts of many, many people in this riding, and that they get inspired to support you, and they get inspired to support the party led by Justin Trudeau. Bernadette, as I was in the past election, a great supporter of yours and an encourager. You know, many times we got together, and it was about two months ago that I received a call from the Liberal Party of Canada, just seeking some information and checking out the lay of the land. And I told them then, well, they asked me a number of questions, and I told them then that there's one individual in SDNG that I'm hoping will make a positive announcement at some point in the next few months, and that is Bernadette Clement, and my support will go to Bernadette Clement. And here it is. She's announced today. We're here to support her, and I would encourage each and every one of you to get out there in the community, talk to your friends, talk to your relatives, talk to those who are fed up with what's going on in Ottawa right now, and get out there at nomination time, and that's a very important process. As Bernadette said, there are 3 in the race now. Very important to get out, and then to get out in the community and knock on doors and work the phones and all those other things that require the help that Bernadette will need in order to win this riding. So Bernadette, congratulations. Felicitations, and all the best in your quest to become our next Member of Parliament. Thank you.
Hey, Jim. As many of you know, our past MP, Bob Kilger, is undergoing some cancer treatment. He couldn't be here this morning. He also sends along his best wishes, and he's looking forward to positive news coming from the riding with regards to the upcoming campaign and the nomination process. Also, another gentleman that's quite involved sent along this message here. Dear Bernadette, spring is coming and change is in the air. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you for placing your name in the nomination for the federal Liberal riding of Stormont, Dundas, South Glengarry. These days, a community such as ours is blessed to have a candidate of your stature seeking that nomination. Over the past years, I have watched your personal growth in your legal work, your political dedication at the municipal level, and the community of SDSG as a whole. Health concerns make it impossible for me to be present this morning, but let me assure you of my full support and looking forward to Victory Party in the general election. Yours sincerely, G.H. Chuck Charlebois. Our thoughts are with Chuck this morning as well, because he's going on a little bit of a health process, and we wish him a speedy recovery. A few things. In seeking the nomination, an individual needs the support of their riding, the support of their community. So, what I need on these little forms here is signatures. Signatures of Liberal members, signatures of people that are supportive of Bernadette in her seeking the nomination. So I'm going to kind of hand this out in a couple of directions here. Get a couple sheets going over that way, and if you don't mind, start signing. The more signatures we get, the better it is, and the stronger we feel about what's happening. For those of you that don't have Liberal memberships right now or are not current, we have a laptop and we have some forms over here. So the forms are pretty straightforward. You can fill out the form, we'll send it in, but what we need on the form is it either has to be a check payment or a credit card payment. Then we need a phone number or an email address, because the party is going to contact you to verify that that is your application. All right? And so the more people that we have signing up this morning, once again, the momentum that we're building, the more that is going to be happening. We also have some volunteer forms as well off on the side. So if you feel that you want to lend a hand here, this is a very open process. If you want to call your neighbors and friends and encourage them to sign up, tell them about the nomination process and the importance of them coming out to vote at a nomination meeting. We don't win a nomination meeting, we don't get to win, and we don't get to play in the game at the federal election campaign. So our first objective is to win that nomination meeting. We need to have as many people showing up at that nomination people as possible. We have got to have the largest number of supporters out for Bernadette. So we need volunteers to make this a successful effort all the way around. And my last little bit here, we invited you to what we call a free will offering breakfast. Free will offering is we're asking you to contribute whatever you feel that the breakfast was worth it. And that will cover the expense with the restaurant. Now, we got a little bit of momentum going here. So we got Go, Bernadette, Go. I want you to know I got a quick snapshot of everybody that's here in the room here, so I put that there. And of course, we're backing Bernadette in the race. Bernadette is sprinting off here from this morning. She's in the race for the nomination. She's in the race to win. So we're behind Bernadette all the way. And luck would have it, I have two of these little buckets, and I'm just going to kind of pass them around.